Hello and welcome to the RotoWire Esports Show. Really it should be called the RotoWire Esports, the RotoWire League of Legends Show, right, Chan? Because all we're doing is talking League of Legends here, man. Ethan Sexton joining me, as always, is DFS Chan. Chan, what's going on today, man?
Not much, man. I guess we're going to go back to boring two-game slates throughout the week until the LCA kicks back up again. But, yeah, we still have League of Legends to play, so that's good.
Yeah, it's probably going to end up being a little bit of a shorter video today just because, there's only two games and we don't have to talk about roster changes now that we've already been through a week in the split. So it might be a shorter video, but we'll still do our best to go through the matchups for tomorrow. But first, let's take a look back at today, Chan. Today, pretty chalky, like we kind of alluded to yesterday. I really liked today's slate for cash games. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today, I guess. I really like today's slate for cash games. So I played a little more in cash, going heavy on LGD and LGD and WE. And that was the way you really needed to go. The takedown lineup in the GPPs I was in was actually 4 LGD with Shadow Captain. So that was the way to go. That was my cash lineup was it was 4 WE, but I had Shadow, Double Jungle, Beisheng in there. So it worked out for cash pretty well for me. But in GPPs, I actually played WE and Afrika. And it just turned out that, I kind of alluded to yesterday that I thought maybe WE was the safer of the teams to sweep. So I went heavier on them. But LGD was the team you really needed today.
Hey, LGD looks really good. Shadow has proven me wrong again. I think he is the difference maker, really. I mean, he has been playing a lot of these champions. I think he played Nidalee at one point, and he looked really good on Nidalee. And I like him integrated. And like you said, I think you made a good point last time before his first game. I think he holds dual citizenship, Italian and maybe Chinese. I'm not quite sure, but he is fluent in Mandarin, so he communicates well with his teammates and everything. So I think the language barrier is not there, but I mean, skill wise, you can see him on the Rift. He plays well with his teammates, and yeah, LGD might be getting into that playoff spot this split. So we'll see how that goes. But for DFS purposes, they've been scoring well, and he is obviously one of the most aggressive junglers so far in the split. So we'll just have to keep our eyes on LGD. And yeah, I mean, but I'm just ready for LGD, see how they size up against some top LPL teams throughout the split.
Yeah, his playstyle fits the LPL perfectly, right? Because he's a super aggressive jungler, so he's really meshed well with the team. And LGD have been in the optimal lineup both times they've played, and the first time they played was a loss. They were still in the optimal lineup on that day. So to your point about them scoring really well so far, they've looked pretty good. We'll see if they can keep it going next time they're on a slate. I kind of buried the lead, but how about KT Rolster with the sweep over Damwon? I guess Damwon just need to lose to one of the bottom feeders in both splits and then get their loss out of the way and then dominate the rest of the slate. But that one came out of nowhere. I mean, I wasn't really interested in playing Damwon because they were the most expensive on the slate, I believe, and I wasn't sure they would outscore the two Chinese teams. So I didn't have Damwon anywhere, but I certainly wasn't interested in playing KT.
Yeah, I should have stuck with my gut. I think I briefly mentioned it for 1 second that it could have been a trap game because I think against T1, obviously, they know how good T1 is, so they showed up. But yeah, I mean, after T1, they may have, underestimated KT Roaster's, chances. And I mean, they just got rolled over. They had 7 kills in game 1 and 2 kills in game 2. I think they were just finished after game 1. They just wanted to move on to another game, another series. So yeah, I mean. But KT Rolster, when they do win, they tend to score well. And, so far in the summer split, KT Rolster has the fastest combined kills per minute pace amongst the LCK teams, which is surprising to me, even over T1 so far. So, if you're picking KT in the next series, we might have to consider them for GPP purposes if you think they will win, because they have a very bloody tendency this split so far for some reason.
Yeah, so they're definitely a team we're going to want to keep an eye on in favorable matchups, especially, or even matchups we think maybe they can cause an upset. I just wasn't there today. Damwon, especially after beating T1, I was like, I wasn't, again, I didn't want to play Damwon necessarily, but I was never going to look KT's way. So, but crazy things happen in league, and it is what it is. And then that last series, the second LCK series, Afrika with the sweep, but it was pretty low and slow and boring. And I used Afrika in my GPP lineup with WE, and obviously that wasn't the way to go. But yeah, that was just kind of a slow, boring series.
Yeah, I'll make one quick point about that game. Yeah, like you said, slow game, but Afrika looked decent. DRX still has a lot of issues. I think they had some substitutions after game one. So it looks like they still haven't figured out their roster. So I think they're still in the experimental phase, which is not very good, when it comes down to the fact that it's a summer split already. So yeah, I think DRX may be one of the bottom tier teams that, we'll just have to ignore for DFS purposes. So we'll see.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I think their rookies just really haven't stepped up so far this year, and they're not quite at the level you would want for a real top-tier team in the LCK. I think Piosik could still be a good jungler on a team that's a little better. But yeah, overall, I think DRX are struggling right now, and they're going to need to turn it around before we really look their direction. But Chan, let's jump over to tomorrow's two-gamer in the LPL. So we've got OMG facing off against Invictus Gaming in the 5 a.m. game, and then we see Edward Gaming versus Rare Atom in the second game of the day, series of the day, excuse me. So OMG, Invictus Gaming, IG are the biggest favorites in terms of pricing on this slate. They're running their safe 5-man lineup from last week, same with OMG. Any pause here using IG as the biggest favorite on a slate? Sometimes that scares me because they love to let you down from time to time, right? But at the same time, I'm not really sure this OMG team is the one that's really going to be able to take advantage and beat IG tomorrow.
Yeah, I really like Rare Atom's chances in terms of that EDG versus Rare Atom matchup as a long stack, only because IG has been kind of inconsistent, and then OMG has been playing kind of slow this split. I'm looking at the combined kills per minute metric, and it looks to me OMG is the last amongst those 4 teams on the slate today that plays the slowest. So that kind of gives me a little pause, as to Invictus Gaming playing, OMG. Yeah, I don't know. I like Invictus Gaming chances obviously to win, but I don't know if they'll score well. So that's my pause right there.
So are you when you bring up the EDG Rare Atom series, are you thinking more in terms of a game stack for this 2-game slate? That's something we really haven't touched on in any of these videos yet. Andrew used to ask me, he used to bring them up like once a video. And I'm known as not the hugest game stack guy. I don't really like doing it, but I definitely see the path to doing it on a 2-game slate over the 4-game slate. I really think on the 4-gamers and more, there's not really much reason to game stack usually. But is that where your kind of head is at right now? You think, with the inconsistency of IG you mentioned and the slowness of OMG, are you interested in game stacking that second series tomorrow?
I've considered it, and I'm saying no to it because first of all, yeah, like you, Ethan, I'm not a huge game stack fan. So I'm not gonna do it. Second of all, I'm considering it only because you asked me. But EDG, yeah, I mean, as you know, they tend to play on the slow side as well.
Yep.
So far they haven't this split, but they may go back to their spring split days where they play the slowest, one of the slowest teams in the LPL, where they just put a lot of resources in Viper, their AD carry. They play more like an LCK team, generally speaking, only because they kind of, wait until they scale late and they don't really engage in useless team fights like some other LPL teams. They play around objectives, as you know, to gain, gain the lead and gain resources for their team. And they only engage in team fights if they, see the need to do it around objectives. So yeah, I don't think Game Stack is viable for the Rare Atom and EDG matchup, but it is an interesting matchup where I think only because EDG has been playing faster this split, and then Rare Atom has been playing pretty decent. So far in the split, in the summer split, they both have 4 wins and 1 loss in terms of the actual games, not regarding the series. So yeah, I mean, I think they're both good teams, but as we'll delve into the matchup, but I like EDG's chances because they've been more consistent in terms of the gameplay throughout each game. So, but yeah, it's an interesting matchup compared to the IG versus OMG, where IG should win, but it's a 4-game slate, so feel free to go crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I want a game stack either. I mean, to me, like a 2-game slate like this with 2 pretty heavy favorites is a cash game slate again for me. Like I don't see the point if you're playing GPPs. Really, I don't necessarily see the point in just going EDG Invictus Gaming, because that's what everyone is going to do on this slate, right? So if I'm playing GPPs, which I will be, I'll have a handful of lineups, of course. I think I want to play Edward Gaming and OMG just for the Hail Mary upset from the biggest underdog on the slate. And then I want to have the bulk of my money wrapped up in cash games with EDG and IG. For me, it's just like I don't see the point in going in with an EDG IG lineup tomorrow, because everybody and their brother is going to have that lineup, right? So I think if you want to get if you want to play GPPs, maybe get a little weird, do a one-off, do a stack of a team that, is going to be really low owned. I don't expect OMG to win at all, but if they do win, I'm expecting to get pretty good leverage from it. So I think in GPPs, I might do that. But I'll be much more heavily involved in cash games tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But yeah, I mean, Rare Atom is interesting to me. Like I said, I think EDG will win, but I think Rare Atom is definitely in for GPP consideration. Not only because it's early in the split and anything can happen, but Rare Atom has shown this year, I mean, this split, that they can compete against good teams so far. So, I mean, when I see the individual matchup, like Scout on Fofo and Viper and iBoy. I think iBoy and Hang have struggled a little bit so far, but I can see definitely them hanging on in their matchup. And then Leyen has been a little disappointing in my opinion in terms of kill participation for DFS purposes. But I don't know. I like Rare Atom's chances, but ultimately, if somebody asks me to make a pick, I think I have to go with EDG. So. Yeah,
I'm with you. I think if one of these 2 underdogs wins tomorrow, I expect it to be Rare Atom as well. They're just a better team. Like, I think OMG are a bottom tier team. My only reason for going there in GPPs is because IG do love to disappoint from time to time. So I'm literally going for the leverage of having the lowest owned team. I don't expect them to win. I don't expect them to do much, but if they do, I want to be ahead of the field, basically. Yeah. So, if we're honing in on, go ahead. Did you have something you wanted to bring up?
No, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. He's taking care of his kids. No problem. I'll read. No problem, man. We're almost done here. I mean, the only other thing I was going to ask you, Chan, is, if you're focusing in on these teams, where you're looking at specifically for players. IG, I think June and Rookie is always a nice 1-2 combo where I like to look if I'm going with them. And then, EDG, I really like their bottom lane. I think, really, you can probably go anywhere with those 2 teams tomorrow if you can make it fit.
Yeah, if I were to long stack EDG, I would focus on JJ and Viper. And Scout is obviously in consideration, but I think if I had to choose 2 players, I would choose their jungler for sure, and then Viper, because, like I said, they put a lot of resources on Viper, and they like to late scale in games. So, if that happens, Viper will most likely get a lot of kills at the end of each game.
Yep.
And then if I were to long stack IG, I would focus on, like you said, June, and then Rookie probably. I see that mid gap, mid difference between Rookie and Cream. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, I think so.
Treme, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so no, yeah, so rookie, has been playing decent so far this split, with Nenny at top. That rookie doesn't have to babysit top anymore, as like he did with the Shy at top. So I like that matchup there, June and rookie. So yeah, I think those are the two players respectively for the favorites that I would focus.
Yeah, I wonder, like, for cash games, do you have a preference? If you're going IG, EDG, without giving full lineups out, because we want to avoid that, of course, because there's already enough duplicate lineup issues in League of Legends. But if you were looking, if you're going IG, EDG for cash games, would you lean double jungle or double mid? The one spoiler I will give is there is a way to make double mid work. I don't think you can do double AD carry without punting from one of the other teams, but do you feel like junglers are still a bit more impactful than mid laners right now? Or, I think mid laners have more kill upside traditionally. But for these two teams, would you look double jungle or would you look double mid if you're playing cash games?
I would look double jungle in this particular slate because looks like JJ has 70.4% kill participation, and then June has 66.7%, whereas rookie, the mid laner for Invictus Gaming, has 65% kill participation percentage so far this split. So that tells me the stack of junglers have higher kill participation compared to rookie. Now, Scout for EDG, the mid laner, has 74.6% kill participation percentage. So that's pretty high, but I like the double jungle stack in this one because JJ and June are both active junglers who like to make plays for their teams. And so, yeah, I think that's obviously picking the junglers would allow me to make, the plays that I want to make in terms of player selection. So, yeah, I don't think we're sacrificing that much by stacking the junglers there.
Yeah, I think this jungle meta, too, is still their junglers are super impactful still, and they're playing champions that can take over games like the Rumble, things like that. It's not like a tank jungle meta or a farm jungle meta, so I'm kind of on board with the double jungle as well, I think. Chan, kind of short and sweet today. We made it to 18 minutes, which is not bad for a chalky 2-game slate, but I think we gave some good analysis. Anything else you want to bring up for tomorrow before we get going?
No, I think that's it. And here's my son, but he's been helping me make some League of Legends play picks and everything. He just woke up from a nap. But anyway, yeah, everybody good luck on the 2-game slate. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a chalky slate again. But feel free to go crazy with Rare Atom and OMG. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, nice to meet you, buddy. Future League of Legends player, I'm sure. North America's next great mid laner or something like that, so that's cool. It's nice to meet you, buddy. So folks, if you enjoyed the video, if you could like and subscribe the channel, that would be great. Helps us out a lot. We've got a lot of videos for a ton of different sports, but subscribing will also mean that you never miss when we go live. You'll be able to catch all the League of Legends videos if that's what you're really into. If you want to check out RotoWire, go to rotowire.com/try. Free 10-day trial, no credit card required. And then once you sign up for that, you can go to rotowire.com/chat and join our Discord channel. We're always in there trying to talk, answering questions, things of that nature. So feel free to check those out. There's some links down below in the video here to take you right to the pages you need. Chan, good talking to you as always, my friend. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll talk tomorrow about, unfortunately, Tuesday's 2-gamer.
Sounds good. Thanks, Ethan.
All right, take care.